Good day, everyone. So, our topic for this week is all about compound interest. So, our lesson objectives first, we will illustrate compound interest. Second, we will distinguish between simple and compound interest. What is the difference between the two? And number three, we have to compute interest, maturity value, or also known as the future value, and present value in compound interest environment. So let's define compound interest. So when we say compound interest, it is the procedure in which interest is periodically calculated and added to the principal. So unlike po dun sa simple interest, ina-add sa kanya yung interest every year, annually, or every the given year. Dito po kay compound interest is naka-base po siya sa period. Okay? Naka-base po siya sa period. If it is annually, bi-monthly, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually. Okay? Next, first term under the compound interest is we have the compound frequency, and it represents a small letter m. It is also known as the conversion frequency. It is the number of compounding that takes place in a year. Second, we have the conversion period. It is the time interval between the succeeding interest calculations and compound period or interval period. So, ito po siya. Ayan. So, ito po yung M natin, which is the number of compounding or conversion per year. And this is our compounding or conversion periods. So, given po natin na compounding or conversion frequency, we have annual, semi-annual, quarterly, bi-monthly, and monthly. So, if it is annual, in 1 year, magbabayad ka ng 1 times. Okay, isang beses ka magbabayad sa isang taon. Next, semi-annual, magbabayad ka every 6 months. So, in a 1 year po, 2 times. Next, quarterly, every 3 months. So, magbabayad ka ng 4 times. Bi-monthly, every 2 months, magbabayad ka ng 6 times a year. And of course, monthly every month. So, in a year, we have 12 times. So, again, number of compounding or conversion period per year po. This will be your M. Okay? Or conversion frequency. Okay, next. Next term is we have the nominal interest, and it represents a small letter J. It stated annual interest rate on which the compound interest calculation is based. So kung sa simple interest po, the given interest rate is represented by small letter R. In the compound interest po, we have to represent the interest rate as small letter J. So lahat na makikita natin na may percent sign sa compound interest po, that is the nominal interest or the small letter J. Okay? Next, periodic interest rate or small letter I, represent as small letter I, that is the rate of interest earned in one conversion period. So, ibig sabihin po, si I po, that is your nominal interest rate divided by the conversion period. Okay? Next, these are the variables that you need to know in our lesson for this week, which is the compound interest. So, yung iba po dito, aware na kayo since na-discuss na natin siya sa simple interest or na-encounter nyo na siya sa simple interest. So, start po tayo kay big letter A. That is our future value of the loan or investment. Next, of course, the P, which is the principal amount of the loan or investment. That is the amount you deposited, the amount you invest, or the amount you loan. Okay? Next, big letter I. That is the amount of interest paid or received. So, pag ikaw yung umutang, of course, that is the amount you need to pay. And of course, if ikaw yung nagpautang, that is the amount you will receive. And then, fourth variable, which is nominal interest rate represented by small letter J. So, lahat na nakikita natin may percent sign sa problem, given sa compound interest po, that is letter J. Next, number of conversion per year, yung nasa table po natin kanina, that is small letter M. T, na-encounter na natin siya sa simple interest, that is the time, period, or term of the loan or investment. And then I, we have the periodic interest rate, which is the nominal interest rate divided by the number of conversion per year. And last one, we have N, which is the number of conversion of the loan. Para makuha natin si N, we have to multiply the time period and the number of conversion per year. So these are the formulas that we need to know in the compound or under the compound interest. So if you are solving for I, formula will be J divided by M. And then if you are solving for N, that is T times M. So again, I is our periodic interest rate. Para makuha siya, you need to divide the nominal interest rate and the number of conversion per year. And then next, para naman makuha si number of conversion of the loan, you have to multiply the time and the number of conversion per year. Okay, next, to find the principal amount, formula is the future value divided by 1 plus periodic interest rate raised to number of conversion of the loan. Or, pwede nyo din pong gamitin yung formula. We have principal amount is equal to the future value multiplied by 1 plus I raised to negative n. So, alin man ang gamitin nyo po sa dalawa, magka-come up po kayo sa same answer. Okay, pero kung hindi po kayo gumagamit ng scientific calculator, then ang gagamitin nyo na lang po is yung first formula natin, which is A over 1 plus I raised to N. Kasi dito po is nag-negative N po tayo sa pangalawang formula. Okay? Next, for you to be able to solve for the future value, you have the formula principal amount multiplied by 1 plus I raised to N. And of course, the formula in solving for the interest is the future value minus the principal amount. Okay? So let's have our example. So we have here 6 examples. Number 1. What will be the maturity value of 12,000 pesos invested for 4 years at 15% compounded quarterly? So before you answer the given question, of course, you need to write the given. Okay, so identify nyo po muna kung ano yung given and kung ano yung nawawala. Okay, so by this problem po, the question is what will be the maturity value? And when I say maturity value, it is also known as the future value. And it represents big letter A. Next, the 12,000 pesos invested. O ano si 12,000 pesos? So si 12,000 pesos na ininvest mo, this is the amount you invest, you deposited, that is the principal amount. Okay. Next, for 4 years. So andyan na. Andyan na ang keyword. 4 na taon. Of course, that is the time. At 15%. O, lahat ng may percent sign in terms of compound interest, that is the nominal interest rate, which is represented by small letter J. Compounded quarterly. Ayan. So, conversion per year po. We have compounded quarterly. So, represent as small letter M. At pag sinabi po natin quarterly, that is every 3 months. So, sa isang taon, you have to pay 4 times. Ayan. So, M is equal to 4. So, sulat po natin lahat ng given natin. Okay. So, na-identify na natin lahat ng given sa problem. Rewrite na lang natin siya. P. So, ang P natin sa problem, we have 12,000 pesos. Time, we have 4 years. Nominal interest rate, we have 15%. Conversion period per year, we have 4. And the question is, what will be the future value? Okay. So, since nawawala si future value, alamin muna natin kung ano ang future Kung ano ang formula ni future value para malaman natin kung ano yung mga kailangan pa nating hanapin bago natin siya isolve. Okay, so formula for the future value, we have the principal amount multiplied by 1 plus I raised to n. Ayan. Okay. So, given natin sa future value, meron na tayong P, wala pa tayong I, wala pa tayong N. So, we need to solve first the I and N for us to be able to solve for the future value. So, hanapin muna natin si I. Ano ang formula ng I? We have J divided by M, or the nominal interest rate divided by the number of conversion per year. So, don't forget to convert our interest rate into decimal before nyo po siya isama sa solving. Okay? So, since it is 15%, then it should be 0.15. Okay. So, J natin, that is 0.15, divide by M natin is 4. And then 0.15 divide by 4, that is 0.0375. So, that will be our I, or the periodic interest rate. Okay, next, we need to solve for N, or the number of conversion of the loan. So, formula is time multiplied by the number of conversion per year. So, T times M. So, given natin sa T, we have 4 times M, we have also 4. 4 times 4, we have 16. Okay. So, nakuha na natin si I, nakuha natin si N. So, now, we can be able to solve for the future value. So, substitute, future value is equal to P, which is 12,000 pesos, multiplied by 1 plus our I, which is 0.0375 raised to N, which is 16. Okay. So, tapos na natin siyang ma-substitute, and then perform na po natin ang indicated operation. And of course, you need to follow the PEMDAS rule. So, kung kaya siyang idiretso sa calculator, much better. Yan. Pero kung hindi po tayo gumagamit ng scientific calculator, then iisa-isahin po natin yan by following the PEMDAS rule. So, first, of course, we have the parentheses. So, solve muna natin yung nasa loob ng parentheses. 1 plus 0.0375. Of course, that is 1.0375 raised to 16. Okay, after the parentheses, next is the exponent. Okay, so exponent, rewrite pa din natin si 12,000 pesos kasi hindi pa natin siya isa-solve. Exponent daw yung next natin. So, you will solve for 1.0375 raised to 16. Okay, direct sa calculator. If not, you will multiply 1.0375 by itself 16 times. Okay? So, hindi po tayo mag-round off ha. Hindi po mag-round off. Kailan lang tayo mag-round off? Kapag nasa final answer na po tayo. Okay? So, 1.0375 raised to 16, that is 1.802227867. And then after that, the answer from 1.0375 raised to 16, you will multiply it to 12,000 pesos. So, 12,000 times 1.802227867, the answer is 21,626 pesos and 73 centavos. And that will be the future value. So, ibig sabihin, if you will invest 12,000 pesos with 15% nominal interest rate compounded quarterly, after 4 years, your money will be 21,626 pesos and 73 centavos. Okay, next example. Okay, example number 2, we need to find the interest earned at the end of 4 years if 36,700 pesos is invested at 12% compounded by monthly. Okay, so we need first to identify the given before we will solve the interest. So since we need to find the interest, yan, nawawala po natin ay I. Okay. Next, at the end of 4 years, of course, 4 is our time. If 36,000 pesos, 36,700 pesos is invested. So 36,700 will be the principal amount at 12%. Okay. Which is our nominal interest rate represented by small letter J, compounded by monthly. So, conversion per year by monthly, represented by small letter m. And by monthly, you need to pay in a year 6 times. So, m is equal to 6. Okay, so we need to write the given. So, nawawala, or we need to solve for the I. Our time is 4. The principal amount is 36,700 pesos. The nominal interest rate is 12%. Convert it into decimal, that is 0.12. And then conversion per year, or M, that is 6. Okay, so that will be our given. So, next po, kunin natin yung formula. Kasi since hinahanap natin si I or si interest, kailangan alam natin yung kung ano po ang formula niya bago po tayo mag-solve. Okay, so formula natin for the interest, we have the future value minus the principal amount. Okay, and by that formula, nakita natin na meron po tayong principal amount pero wala tayong future value. So, ibig sabihin, bago natin makuha si interest, kailangan kunin muna natin si future value. At ano po ang formula ni future value? Ayan. So, we have P times 1 plus I raised to N. Okay? So, unahin nyo munang hanapin si future value bago nyo po makuha si interest. So, by the formula of the future value, we need to solve for the I and N. Okay. So, I formula, we have J divided by M, and that is 0.12 divided by 6. So, 0.12 divided by 6, that is 0.02. Okay, next, we need to solve for the N, or the number of conversion of the loan. So, we need to multiply T and M. So, our T is 4. Our M is 6. So, 4 times 6, that is 24. So, we're done with solving I and N. So, let's start to solve the future value. So, since given na po lahat, ano na lang ang gagawin natin? We need to substitute, then solve. So, future value is equal to our P, which is 36,700, multiplied by 1 plus our I, which is 0.02 raised to N, which is 24. So, after mag-substitute, perform the indicated operation by following the PEMDAS rule. So, rewrite so 36,700. Uunahin yung nasa loob ng parenthesis. So, 1 plus 0.02, that is 1.02 raised to 24. Next, after the parenthesis, you need to solve first the exponent. So, 1.02 raised to 24. Again, if walang scientific calculator, you need to multiply 1.02 to itself 24 times. So, what is the answer? We have 1.608437,249. Hindi po tayo mag-round off. Okay? And then, of course, after that, the result is you will multiply it to the principal amount, which is 36,700. So, final answer for the future value, we have 59,029 pesos and 65 centavos. And that will be the future value. But for this example, we are solving for the interest. So again, formula for the interest, we have the future value minus the principal amount. So that is interest, 59,029 pesos and 65 centavos minus P, which is 36,700 pesos. So subtract. Final answer for the interest, we have 22,329 pesos and 65 centavos. Okay? So, ibig sabihin po, if nag-loan or nag-invest ka ng 36,700 pesos with 12% nominal interest rate for 4 years and then compounded by monthly, your interest will be 22,329 pesos and 65 centavos. Okay? Next, let's have example number 3. So, for example number 3, Andre wants to have 1,500,000 pesos in 5 years and 2 months. If the bank's interest is 12% compounded quarterly, how much should he deposit in the bank now? Okay. So, let's have the given. Okay, first is gusto daw ni Andre magkaroon ng 1.5 million in 5 years and 2 months. Ibig sabihin, after 5 years and 2 months. So, ano ngayon si 1.5 million? Gusto niya nito magkaroon after. Okay, so ibig sabihin, this will be the future value. Okay, next, we have 5 years and 2 months. Of course, this is our time. If the bank's interest is 12%, which is the nominal interest rate, compounded quarterly, which is the conversion per year, that is M, quarterly, you need to pay 4 times. Ayan. How much should he deposit in the bank now? Magkano daw po yung i-deposit niya sa bangko ngayon para after 5 years and 2 months magkaroon siya ng 1.5 million. So, ano po ang nawawala? We are solving for the principal amount. Okay? Ayan. So, let's write the given. So, our given, first is our future value, which is 1.5 million pesos. Next, our time. So, sa time po natin, we have 5 years and 2 months. Tsaka sabi natin, di ba, pag time, it should be in years. So, given na po si 5 years, ano po ang gagawin natin doon sa butal niyang 2 months? So, doon po sa 2 months is i-divide nyo po yan sa 12. Okay? So, 2 divide by 12. Tapos, yung answer po doon is i-add nyo sa 5. Okay? So, kunin muna natin si 5 kasi 5 years. And then, of course, yung 2 months will be the decimal point. Kapag nag-divide po tayo ng 2 divide by 12, ano po ang magiging result? Ang magiging result po ay 1.166666667. Okay? Hindi po tayo mag-round off. Kasi kapag ni-round off po natin yan, medyo malayo na po ang makukuha nating answer doon sa exact amount na dapat ay makuha po natin. Okay? So again, 5 years, si 5 po, okay na si 5. Si 2, which is yung butal na 2 months, i-divide nyo po siya sa 12 since we have 12 months in a year. So 2 divide by 12, that is 0.1666667. And then add it to 5. Of course, we have 5.1666667. Okay? Next, our nominal interest rate or J is 12%. Convert it into decimal, that is 0.12. 12. Next, M, compounded quarterly. So we have 4. And we are solving for the principal amount. Since the question is, how much should he invest now? Okay, for him to be able to get 1.5 million after 5 years and 2 months. So after you write the given, of course, write the formula. Okay, formula for the principal amount, we have A over 1 plus I raised to N. Okay. So, again, in the given formula po, we have I and N. So, we need to solve for I and N. So, formula for I, J divided by M. Our J is 0.12. Divide by our M is 4. So, 0.12 divided by 4, that is 0.03. And that will be your periodic interest rate, or I. Next, we have to solve for the N. Formula is T times M. So, our T is 5.166667 divide or multiplied by our M, which is 4. So, when you multiply it, answer will be 20.666667. Okay, and this will be our N, or the number of conversion of the loan. And then after that, you will substitute it to the formula since lahat na po ng given ay nandiyan na. Okay? So, principal amount, we have 1.5 million or 1,500,000 divide by our denominator 1 plus I is 0.03 raised to N, which is 20.76, and then sa dulo ay 7. Okay. Next, again, di po kayo mag-round off ha. Mag-round off lang po tayo sa final answer. Okay. So, remain po si numerator. We have 1,500,000. And then, unahin nyo po muna sa denominator since merong parenthesis doon at exponent. So, 1 plus 0.03, of course, that is 1.03. Raised to, same pa din po, rewrite mo lang. Kasi ang ginalaw lang naman po natin ay yung nasa loob ng parenthesis. And then after that, rewrite pa din si numerator. And then denominator po, you need to solve for the exponent. So 1.03 raised to 20.666667. Answer will be 1.84, 20, 55, 215. Okay? And then after that, divide. 1.5 million divide 0.1.842055215. Answer is 814,307 pesos and 84 centavos. And that will be your final answer. So meaning, if Andre wants to have 1,500,000 pesos in 5 years and 2 months with the interest rate of 12% compounded quarterly, he needs to invest 814,307 pesos and 84 centavos today. Okay? Next, example number 4. Sarge paid 8,600 pesos on a loan made 2 years before at 6% compounded by monthly. Find the interest generated. Okay. So, in this given question po, sabi po dyan, si Sarge daw nagpaid or nagbayad ng 8,600 pesos sa loan nung 2 years ago. which is 6% compounded by monthly. So, ibig sabihin po, since binayaran niya sa 8,600 pesos, what is 8,600 pesos? This will be the future value, which is the principal amount plus the interest. Kasi ito na yung amount na binayad niya. So, that will be the principal plus the interest. Next, made 2 years before. So, 2 years, of course, will be our time. At 6%. 6% will be the nominal interest rate, which is J, compounded by monthly. Ayan, conversion per year. M is equal to, since that is by monthly, that is 6 times per year. Find the interest generated. So, ang nawawala po ay si interest. Kung magkano yung naging interest niya, bakit siya nakapagbayad ng total amount na 8,600 pesos. So, since hinahanap natin si interest niya dito, malalaman din natin kung magkano yung niloan niya. Okay po? Ayan. So, sulat natin yung given. Ayan. So, given po natin A is 8,600. Our time is 2 years. Our nominal interest rate is 6%. Convert it into decimal, of course, it is 0.06. M, we have bi-monthly, so we have 6. And we are solving for the interest. Formula for interest, again, we have the future value minus the principal amount. So, same as our example earlier. But in this scenario po, we have the given of the future value. At ano ang wala sa given natin? Wala po sa given natin si principal amount. So, for us to be able to solve for the interest, given si future value, we need to solve first the principal amount. So, formula for the principal amount, we have the future value divided by 1 plus I raised to n. And then after masolve si principal amount, tsaka mo po makukuha ngayon si future or si interest rate or interest, the amount. The amount na dinagdag doon sa principal amount niya, kaya siya nakapagbayad ng 8,600 pesos in total. So, ang given po natin dito or ang formula po natin dito sa P ay may I tsaka may N. So, solve po muna natin si I tsaka si N. So, formula for I, we have to divide J and M. So, our J is 0.06 divided by M, which is 6. So, 0.06 divided by 6, that is 0.01. Okay, next, we have to solve for our N. We have to multiply T and M. So, our time is 2, and then our M is 6. So, 2 times 6, we have 12. Okay. So, after that, let's solve for the principal amount and then the interest. So, substitute. Our future value is 8,600 pesos. Divide by 1 plus our I. Our I is, what is our I? We have 0.01 raised to our N, which is 12. And then perform the indicated operation. So, syempre, kailangan unahin muna natin yung nasa denominator since meron po tayong parenthesis at exponent sa denominator. So, remain po si numerator. Ayan. So, 1 plus 0.01, that is 1.01 raised to 12. Remain si numerator, which is 8,600. And then solve for the denominator. 1.01 divide by 12. What is the answer? We have 1.12682,503. And then after that, divide. 8,600 divided by 1.12682,503. Principal amount will be how much? 7,632 pesos and 6 centavos. And that will be our principal amount. But in this problem, we are solving for the interest. So, after makuha si principal amount, kunin si interest. So, formula po ng ating interest, we have future value minus the principal amount. So, future value is 8,600 minus the principal amount. We have 7,632 pesos and 6 centavos. What will be the interest? Final answer, we have 967 pesos and 94 centavos. Ayan. Okay. Next example. Example number 5. What amount must be invested now in savings account earning 9% compounded quarterly to accumulate a total of 21,000 pesos after 4 and 3/4 years? So let's identify the given. What amount must be invested? Of course, kung ano yung amount na i-invest mo. We are solving for the principal amount. In a savings account earning 9%, which is our J, compounded quarterly. Okay, quarterly. M is equal to 4. To accumulate or para makakuha ka ng total of 21,000 after. So, syempre, para makakuha ka ng 21,000 will be our future value. After 4 and 3/4 years, which is our time. Okay? So, let's write the given. So, we are solving for the principal amount. Our J is 9%. Compounded quarterly. So, we have 4 to accumulate a total of 21,000 pesos, which is our future value. And our time, which is 4 and 3/4 years. So, again, since that is 3/4, divide nyo lang to make it a decimal. 3 divided by 4, that is 0.75. So, we have 4.75 years. Okay? And then, let's have the formula for the P, or for the principal amount. Okay, we have the future value divided by 1 plus I raised to n. That is the formula to solve for the principal amount. So, since wala pa tayong I tsaka n, let's solve for I and n. So, I is j divided by m. That is 9%. So, convert it first to decimal. That is 0.09. So, 0.09 divided by 4. That is 0.0225. Okay? That will be your I. Next, for n, we have to multiply t and m. So, our time is 4.75 multiplied by our m, which is 4, and that is equal to 19. Okay. So, after that, substitute. Same process, but different givens. So, substitute our future value is 21,000 pesos. Again, we are solving for the principal amount. Divide by 1 plus our I, 0.0225 raised to n, which is 19. Okay. So, follow the PEMDAS rule. We have 21,000 and then solve for 1 plus 0.0225. That is 1.0225 raised to 19. And then solve for the exponent. So, remain po si numerator, which is 21,000. 1.0225 raised to 19. That is 1.526170367. And then divide. Final answer will be 13,759 pesos and 93 centavos. Okay. So, ibig sabihin po, yung amount na dapat na i-invest mo ngayon ay 13,759 pesos and 93 centavos sa iyong savings account para maka-earn ka ng 9% compounded quarterly at para kumita ka or magkaroon ka ng total na 21,000 pesos sa future after 4 and 3/4 years. Okay? And then, last example for this week's topic. We have to determine the maturity value of 3,000 pesos invested at 9.5% compounded semi-annually for 3.5 years. Okay, so let's have the given maturity value. Another term of maturity value, we have the future value. Okay, of 3,000 pesos invested. O ano yung mga amount na ininvest mo, na dineposit mo, na niloan mo, that is the principal amount. At 9.5%, of course, this will be our nominal interest rate represented by small letter J. Compounded semi-annually. So, conversion per year, which is letter M. Semi-annually po, so we have 2 times a year. For 3.5 years, which will be our time. Ayan. So, na-identify na natin yung mga given sa problem. So, sulat po natin siya. We have our given. So, ano po ang hinahanap natin? Determine the maturity value. So, ibig sabihin, nawawala po si future value. And then, ang principal amount po natin na 3,000 pesos. Yung nominal interest rate po natin na 9.5%. And then, when we convert it into decimal, this will be 0.095. Semi-annually or compounded semi-annually, we have 2 in 3.5 years. So, 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. So, we have 3.5 years. Okay? So, write the formula for the future value. We have the principal amount times 1 plus I raised to n. Okay, and then, you need to solve for I and n. So, J divided by M, for I, we have 0.095 divided by 2. And that is 0.0475 for I. Next, for n, we have to multiply t and m. So, our t is 3.5 times our m is 2. So, 3.5 times 2, of course, we have 7. Ayan. Okay. And then, after that, substitute and then solve. So, for the future value, we have our P, 3,000 pesos, times 1 plus our I, 0.0475, raised to n, which is 7. And then, perform the indicated operation by following the PEMDAS rule. So, parenthesis po muna, 1 plus 0.0475, that is 1.0475. And then, copy si exponent. Since ang sinasolve mo pa lang naman ay yung nasa loob ng parenthesis. And then, next, rewrite si 3,000. And then, next po na isosolve mo ay yung exponent. So, 1.0475 raised to 7, that is 1.38381558. And then the result is you will multiply it to the principal amount, which is 3,000 pesos. So the future value will be 4,151 pesos and 45 centavos. And that will be your final answer. Okay, so our future value is 4,151 pesos and 45 centavos. If we invest 3,000 pesos with 9.5% compounded semi-annually for 3.5 years. Okay? And that will be our lesson for this week. So if you have any question, clarification, violent reaction, then you can ask me in our synchronous class. So thank you for watching and God bless.